Famous Radio podcast with your host, Jeffy McJefferson. Let's go.
And welcome to the Almost Famous Radio podcast. Jeffy McJefferson here, flying solo, believe it or not. The Ricker, out of town, old dude, he's got some personal stuff going on, so we really, I don't want to get into that right now, but that's okay. Old dude was supposed to be here this weekend, couldn't do it. We were going to rehash everything that we talked over last week, especially on the NFL playoffs and then the Natty in the NCAA. So I kind of want to start with that. I do want to start with the national championship, and then I'll get in the NFL playoffs in just a little bit. But was it a game? There was a game, right? There was a game on Monday? I think there might have been. There's other things happening too on Monday that were pretty freaking important, but there was also a game. Kind of crazy. I have thought about why. I haven't really thought about why. I just wondered why the networks and the way they set up this schedule was going to be on Inauguration Day. No matter who won the presidency, it doesn't really matter. They did it on Inauguration Day, and it was kind of questionable. I'm not really sure why, but anyway, let's get back to the game. Notre Dame, Ohio State, as Ricker calls him, the Great Satan, and the game, I started watching it, and it wasn't a game at all. I mean, from the jump. I mean, it was, it got kind of close toward the end. I don't know if it was the whole viewership or whatever. Ricker and, El dude, he was for sure, he was not rooting for Ohio State, but he had that was his pick to win the game. I wanted the Irish to win. I hate Ohio State. Ricker hates Ohio State. He hates them more than I do because he's a Michigan guy. And I know that last week I jammed on Will Howard, the K-State quarterback, who ran the offense beautifully against Notre Dame. They supposedly had a good defense. The games that I saw before, in the tournament, they did play really, really good defense. Excuse me. And apparently that defense didn't show up in the national championship game and let a K-State quarterback beat him. But I digress. I know I'm still jamming on him being a K-State quarterback, being an Oklahoma fan, and having to see him in the Big 12 before we moved over to the SEC and did such a brilliant job in the first year there. Anyway, he picked them clean apart. I think he started off, I don't know how many completions in a row. Not sure he even missed a pass. And by the way, let me start by going around the table, and it's just me. I have Meowza from Georgetown. Yeah, I forgot to even do that at the first of the show. Anyway, let me get back. So I was flipping it back and forth, watching different things because I kind of got bored with the game. And then that really sucks because, I was really looking forward to the national championship game, but still it happened, But I was not sure. I was not sure about it. I don't know what anybody thinks about the tournament, how it went. I know viewership was down during the whole thing. I don't know how many. I don't know if I watched a complete game during the whole thing. Now, given the fact that, that I'm not a fan of anybody that's in the tournament, but still, nonetheless, I kind of was keeping track of it. Once again, with Notre Dame making an improbable run through that, and Ohio State was the 8th seed, allegedly. So, good for them because they totally came out and they just whipped everybody's asses that they put in front of them, kind of like what they did in the first 14 playoffs, because they won the first 14 playoff. They probably shouldn't have been in there, and they were, and they won the national championship. just exactly like they did this time. So I'm not sure what's going to happen to Ryan Day, though. He was happy. He looked happy, but he kind of didn't look happy after the game. I don't know. I like I said, I didn't, after the game was over, I know that, they did a trophy presentation and everything like that. But I mean, the on-field interview right after the game, I was expecting him to say, "Where the hell is Lou Holtz?" And then they would have told, "Hey, he's up in the booth," but not in the booth, not in the broadcast booth, but he was up there in the suites, I should say. So I don't know what was up with that, but anyway, not a game. I didn't think it was a game. I didn't think there was not much entertainment factor in it. I don't know, but it's sports. You can't predict it unless you're, Kansas City Chiefs and the referees, but we all know about that, and I'll get to that later. But anyway, I don't know. Are we going to have to go to 16 games or 16 teams? I'm not sure. Just because one team wins it, nobody wants them to win more than, most everybody doesn't want them to win except for the fans in Columbus, Ohio. They do, they didn't mind. They don't mind. They didn't mind when it was 4. They didn't. Now they were obviously didn't mind now that it's 12 because their team took care of business. So it's going to be a little bit of reshuffle. I also saw their outstanding wide receiver, Jeremiah Smith. I think he's getting. I think I read where he's getting offers of $5-6 million from other teams. Is he going to go into the portal and leave Ohio State for that? I mean, Ohio State had like $20 million in NIL. They were second most in the country next to Oregon, who I think was 23. So if that happens, I mean, we already talked about legislation and things that should happen because of this kind of crap. We're a little bit, I think we're already really a little bit fatigued, I guess you could say, about this NIL and then the portal. And a couple of podcasts ago, El Dude and I, we were talking about that. We made our suggestions, and I'll rehash that real quick if you like. If you didn't listen to it, you should go back. You should listen to all of them. You should go back and listen to every show that we did. It's not even all sports. So, but if an athlete, and I used Jackson Arnold, at that time for an example, who was at OU and then he hit the portal, and Auburn ended up signing him. So if an athlete hits the portal and gets signed and has NIL money at that new school, the school should pay the team, the university, the NIL money that they basically lost from this guy hitting the portal. So say it's $1 million. So Auburn is paying Jackson Arnold $1 million. This is just an example. I don't know how much they're paying him, but say they pay him $1 million, and OU is paying him $750 or what have you. I think Auburn should be paying Oklahoma $750 to recoup that money from this athlete hitting the portal, and then going on and signing and playing anywhere he wants. So, and I'm talking about this is for everybody, not just him. Now, as for the portal, I'm going to give you one free portal shot. You can hit the portal, okay, sign with another team or another university. Sign with her. It sounded like pro athletics because it is pro athletics, right now. But so the athlete gets his free first portal. He could hit the portal one time, the first time he hits the portal, free anywhere he wants to go. Now, if he signs with another school, say, well, I'm going to use Jackson Arnold again. He goes to Auburn, and then he hits the portal again, and he wants to go somewhere else. He should lose a year eligibility. And this will kind of stop all this stuff happening. I mean, because, you know, we talked about it before, and everybody's joked about it. You've probably seen it on the internet, on anything, that, you know, they're going to be playing Sunday night football, and they're going to say, yeah, so-and-so and so-and-so, University of Ohio State, University of Cal State Fullerton, University of Georgia, University, and it's going to take him forever to get through all the universities because of all the damn portal jumps he did, you know, just for one guy. So I still think that's, you know, my solution for it. I'm not sure anybody's going to take me up on it because I haven't heard any phones ringing, so it doesn't really matter. But it's just what I think, and I really believe that this is how it should be. You know, the universities paying the previous university the NIL money that they lost on that athlete, and then athlete gets that free portal jump, and then if he goes back in, then he's gonna suffer the consequences, lose a year of eligibility. I would love to hear from anybody on this, because it's I mean, to me, it's the only thing that makes sense. And if you have anything else that makes sense, I would like to know. I don't really know how to solve this issue, but that's the only shot that I have. And I don't even know if anything is going to happen. Obviously, it's not, because it's, you know, Wild Wild West and all that kind of cliches that everybody says. But I hope something gets figured out. Hang on, because it's getting a little ridiculous, and it's kind of watering down the sport. There's, you know, having no guardrails and things like that. So now this is not going to be our big long episode like, you know, we always have. We usually go 45 minutes to an hour and hour 15 or something like that. Definitely not going to be that long. This is going to kind of go over everything because it's the eve of the NFL having their championship games. AFC, NFC. I'm going to start with AFC. We have the Kansas City Chiefs at home versus the Buffalo Bills. Now, we've seen this movie before a few times, haven't we? Now, obviously, everybody knows I'm not a Chiefs fan, especially with, officiating is definitely a factor in the NFL, and it seems to lean toward the Chiefs, especially in crucial moments, and that's, I think, what pisses everybody off. But overall, the NFL referees and officiating, I mean, all across the board, sucks, because we're having a problem with the NFL anyway with the product they're putting on the field. It's not that great. So, and this is the premier sport of all sports. You know, we're talking NBA, we're talking, Major League Baseball, talking hockey. Of course, hockey is really low on the board, but we're talking all this stuff, man. And we're talking, NFL is like king of the hill. And it's a shame that this is happening with the product that's going on right now. So, Kansas City beat the Texans. I'm sure everybody's seen all the freaking hilarious videos out there. I mean, I have one, and that my friend Maria sent to me about the Lord and Savior Patrick Mahomes, and it was damn funny. And I hope you can find it, because it is damn funny. But they took care of the Texans, who surprisingly to me beat the Chargers, because I know that I picked the Chargers last week. I really thought that Harbaugh had it, but it's like, is Justin Herbert questionable now? I mean, not to play, but is he questionable? I mean, is he they always consider him like a top 5 quarterback, but he can't get the job done in crucial situations in playoff games. So I'm personally myself, and I like Justin Herbert. I kind of wish Miami would have took him over Tua, because I haven't been sold on Tua for a while, but I'm knocking him down from, the elite quarterbacks down to sort of mid-level, because I don't think he's shown he can get the job done yet. And they really should have beat the Texans. Texans aren't that great, even though they gave Kansas City a pretty good game. And I'm talking about Kansas City, and the Stripes, a pretty good game. But this team's got to step it up, and then Harbaugh, I think, will get that fixed. So we'll see. I might move him back up later, but as of right now, he's not. He's not in the upper echelon of quarterbacks. So, they. I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's only Harbaugh's first year, so I'm giving him time. He's done great with every team he's been with, from San Diego State to Stanford to San Francisco, and then he won a natty at Michigan, and so now he's with the Chargers, and I think he'll do well because he's kind of a proven factor. So we'll see what happens there. The other AFC game last week was the Bills and the Ravens. So once again, everybody's like, Lamar Jackson, he's the man, and he can't get the job done either. So when are we going to finally face the truth about Lamar Jackson? I mean, he's great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you got to be great to be in the NFL, but I mean, he's not proven it under fire. And I know Mark Andrews dropped a pass. I know this, that, and the other, but he did commit turnovers, and he can't close deals either in the playoffs. They had the best chance they had last year against Kansas City, blew it. And so I'm not really sure about Lamar Jackson either. We'll have to wait and see what happens. And anybody else in the AFC is not really bona fide contenders at this point, at least as far as I can tell, besides the Bills and the Ravens and the Chiefs. And I'm putting the Chargers over the Texans, even though they beat them. Broncos are up and comers. They did they might do okay. I like Bo Nix. We'll see what happens. I thought he had a really good rookie year. They're going to give rookie of the year to Jaden Daniels, of course, but I think there could be an argument for Bo Nix in that, because he's really played well, and especially on a team that really sucked badly. I don't know. We'll see what they do with their team. AFC West has like the preeminent coaches division now, with Pete Carroll getting signed by the Raiders. So you got Pete Carroll at the Raiders, you got Sean Payton at Denver, you got Andy Snot-Nose Reid, Frozen Snot-Nose or Mustache Reid at Kansas City, and then you got Harbaugh. I don't know any other division that has any more top-notch not quarterbacks, but head coaches than that. If you think you can challenge me on that, go ahead, because I'm not sure you can. Hang on.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey there, Jeffy McJ here with a reminder you can check out the cast with pictures and bios on our website. It's going to be at afradiopodcast.buzzsprout.com. Believe it or not, you can send us fan mail there too. You can also stay updated on our Almost Famous Radio podcast page on Facebook. And if you really want to send us the good, the bad, the ugly, also topics you would love us to hit on, we have our email at almostfamousradiopodcast@gmail.com. Let's get back to the show. Had to get some meows there. So now with the upcoming games, we got Kansas City and Buffalo. And I am rooting my ass off for Buffalo, obviously. And I'm a Miami Dolphin fan, so it's not like it's easy for me to go, boy, I love those Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. He only kicks my team's ass every freaking year twice. And even one time in the, maybe in the playoffs, Kansas City did it, but the year before, Buffalo kicked the shit out of them. But it's not easy for me to go, yeah, man, I love those Bills, man. They are my team. But I do love Josh Allen, though. I really do like that guy. I think he's going to be MVP this year. He should. They should not give this to Lamar Jackson. They should give it to Josh Allen. He was actually disciplined this year, and I thought his play overall during the season was outstanding. So I am rooting for the Bills. They're playing at Arrowhead. They're playing the Zebras. So it's going to be an uphill climb for Buffalo. We also saw a lot of memes this week about Buffalo's already gotten flagged for roughing the passer, this past weekend, before they even played the Chiefs. So we're going to see how this works out, the officiating, because I think this year it seems like the year that you probably should get Kansas City, because, I mean, it might be the year you better, because who knows what they can come up with, because they're pretty good. They're pretty good at their team. They put together a really good team, both offensively and defensively. And Patrick Mahomes, I don't give him credit. He took a team friendly deal, structure of his contract, which I think the 49ers and Purdy better really, really, really think about if they want to be contenders from here on out. But I digress. I got to go back to the playoffs, but going to find out, see what happens with the Chiefs and Bills. I actually can't wait for these playoff games to see what happens. So, but like I said, I'm rooting for the Bills. I haven't heard from the guys, so I'm pretty sure that the Ricker is rooting for the Bills, and pretty much 99% of the United States of America, along with the rest of the world, is probably rooting for the Bills too as well. So come on, Josh Allen. Let's see if you can put it together, and let's see if you guys could finally get over the hump. And really, it doesn't matter if you win the Super Bowl or not. I couldn't care less. Just beat the Chiefs. That's all I really care about. So on to the NFC. We have the Washington Commanders, who expertly took advantage of Detroit. I picked Detroit last week. And the defense is, they just couldn't hold up. And they did all they could with all the injuries, and I'm not using injuries as an excuse, but they were decimated. So, but they took care of them. And so they won the football game, and that's all that really matters. So now you're in the NFC Championship game. Jaden Daniels has proven himself as a top-notch quarterback. Excuse me. But we'll see what happens, because last year we all thought C.J. Stroud was going to be the shit this year, and he really wasn't. So we're going to see really what happens next year. But, excuse me, golly, next year it's going to be really the proving zone, because I don't think they're going to get past the Philadelphia Elgses. And if you know what I mean by the Philadelphia Elgses, their mayor, and I got to take a drink because my throat is, I don't know. I'm sorry about this, but the Philadelphia Elgses, the mayor was holding like a pep rally, Mayor of Philadelphia, and she spelled Eagles ELGSES. Elgses. I would imagine if you're a mayor of any town or city or municipality, and it's a high school team, college team, junior college team, professional team, I think that the mayor may know how, or should know how to spell your mascot's name. So let's go over it together. It's not ELGSES. I'm just doing this for clarification. Clarification only. It is EAGLES. So anyway, we got the Elgses against the Commanders. And my pick last week was the Elgses. And that was a pretty dang football game against the Rams in inclement conditions. But, Saquon Barkley, who knows? I was talking about Josh Allen being MVP. This guy staked his claim on MVP season. And look what he's done. He's ripping off like mega runs, it seems like, every game. So I think that the Elgses, they can probably, they're going to, since they have the home field advantage, number one. And this is the first time, that the Commanders have been in the playoffs in a long time, especially the NFC Championship game. They did beat the Elgses at the end of the year. I think Kenny Pickett was quarterbacking the Elgses, and it still took, Jaden Daniels the last-minute drive to beat him. So, Jalen Hurts, I think he's going to be back. He was hurt a little bit, and I think he had full practices. So I hope he's at full strength, or at least close to full strength, because we don't want to see any quarterback or anything like that, whether it be the Commanders, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Elgses, have their quarterback go down, especially like this late in the season in a playoff game like Purdy did a couple of years ago. But yeah, so I'm not sure like I said, I'm not sure who the picks are for my guys, with El Dude and the Ricker, but I am going with Buffalo beating the Chiefs. Man, I hope I don't jinx these guys. Damn. I am going with the Elgses beating the Commanders. And so we're going to come back here in a couple of weeks, do a Super Bowl preview. The guys should be back and we can go over this, but I really appreciate everybody listening and putting up with me on a solo show. I hope I didn't F it up too much. So you can check us out on any of your favorite platforms. Email us if you like, almostfamousradiopodcast@gmail.com. We have a Facebook page, we have a Facebook page, Almost Famous Radio Podcast, but the main thing is enjoy the football this weekend, and we're out.